Hi you guys, how you doing? It's Orlando City UK here, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by another special guest today. It's Anthony from Philadelphia Union UK. Welcome to the show, mate. Nice to have you on.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, mate. Welcome indeed. So this is novel, isn't it? Because we didn't think we'll be playing each other in Group A, but here we are. Uh,
No, you're correct. Especially in these circumstances, I wasn't expecting it,
yeah,
especially with your run of form.
exactly. I mean, and even better, we're both in that enviable position of having already qualified to the knockout stage.
Exactly. So it's all to play for, really. I mean, it's nice that we've got to this position. In other words, because we can put out developing and younger players, and we can. There's always that option there, which is good.
Yeah, so quickly as well. I mean, for me,
Yeah, yeah.
the tournament's brilliant, isn't it? Like,
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
yeah. No, have you managed to stay up and watch both Union games so far?
Both of them. The Inter Miami one was a killer.
Yeah.
And I mean, I tried to have a nap before it. I tried to sleep before it, and I just couldn't. So I ended up just staying up. I think I went through about 4, 5 coffees beforehand. Just
Man,
stayed up and watched it.
we
Didn't
know
go to
that.
bed till about 6:30 in the morning, our time.
We know that
My God,
feeling indeed. So, what we're
it was a
going to do
killer.
with Anthony today, so we're going to ask him a few questions. We're going to obviously preview the game, Philadelphia Union against Orlando City on Monday. We're
Yep.
also going to ask him kind of why he supports the Union and how he got into Major League Soccer. But we're going to start with a tournament first. We're both through. So, Anthony, we want you to cast your mind back. What was it? 2 weeks now to that 1-0 win over NYCFC, the first game.
uh,
Firstly,
yeah,
what did you make of that game? And it was a 9 a.m. kickoff, wasn't it? Like we've seen
it
young
was it
teams.
was slow. It was a
Yeah,
slow game. I think from a mutual fan's point of view, it'd be a very boring game to watch as well.
yeah,
It was just you could just tell that there was rust. There was a couple of cobwebs on.
mm,
Each team as well,
yeah,
and especially at 9 a.m. in the morning. You can make an excuse of it's 9 a.m. in the morning. But it's the same for both teams at the end of the day.
exactly.
So I think trying to adapt to these times, obviously because we played 9 a.m. that game, and Inter Miami was 10:30 at night.
Mm,
Trying to adapt to that, and it's going to be hard for both teams. But it's how you approach it, how you prepare for it, in my opinion.
exactly. I mean, we've seen in recent days Josie Altidore and Frank de Boer
Yeah,
have moaned about those early kickoffs, but I think you make a good point. Like it's the same for both
it's
teams.
the same. Of course, it's the same with both teams.
Just get
And
on with it, right?
everything about it. The humidity of Orlando, because I know that it's been ridiculously hot over there, and
Mm,
it's been hard playing conditions. But again, it's the same for both teams.
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's a silly excuse to make. I think
Yeah.
it's a silly excuse.
Agreed. And seeing Atlanta United kind of cry about it, it's made us laugh in Orlando. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
let it
yeah.
continue. But so you started with that 1-0 win over New York, and then it went on to Inter Miami this week. You played after us, and you got the 2-1 win, which sealed qualification.
Yeah.
Shabilko got the winner. He seems to score all the time. Were you more impressed with Union against Miami than the NYCFC game?
100%. There's no question. I mean, like I said, you can 100% see that against New York, we were very rusty. We had a lot of cobwebs to blow off. Basically, into Miami, I think we started off well. Come about mid game, I think we were a little off. But then I think obviously because into Miami, I mean it's harsh, but they're still a developing side. They've not 100% developed. They've not got what's expected in the MLS at the minute. I don't think.
Yeah.
So you come up against a team like Inter Miami, and it's like, okay, it's a relatively easy fixture, and it sounds harsh, and
Mm.
I apologize to all Inter Miami fans, but
Oh,
it,
don't! You're
it
on an Orlando show now, mate. It's
you
completely.
know, it's I just they're a team to be reckoned with in the next couple of years, I believe. But at
Yeah,
the minute, they're still fresh.
yeah,
But I think we struggled we coped, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Like I
Shabilko
say,
got the goal, didn't he? It was a great counter attack. I did watch that game, obviously
yeah,
interested because we wanted you guys to win, so we went through as well.
yeah,
But,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
interested with Shabilko. Where does he stack up for you in Union's all-time list of strikers? I mean, he's been so hot since he joined.
I mean, you can't knock Sebastien Le Toux's. Obviously, he is the legend striker of Philadelphia. You know, he is the man. But I think Shabilko, with Shabilko, I think he's very consistent. Don't get me wrong, he doesn't bag a large amount of goals. You know, I think, you know, he does what he has to do, basically. You know, but I think he's very consistent in what he does.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that he's more of a poacher, rather. You know, he's a poacher of a striker rather than, you know, he's not a playmaker. He's a poacher.
Yeah.
You know, and you feed the guy the ball, put him 1-on-1, with the keeper. 99 times out of 100, he'll score.
Cool.
You know,
absolutely. I mean, we know that Orlando more than anyone. He's 3 against us in 2 games last.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fearing this third game a little, but we've started really well as well. So I think,
you know, like I don't see there's no fear. I mean, for me, it's gonna be a nice game to try and see, you know, like the youth players going, you know, for both teams as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and it's gonna be nice because there's nothing to play for. You know, top in the group, big whoop. We're gonna go through anyway. In my opinion, I'm not really. It'd be nice to win the group, of course. It'd be nice to win the group, but
that's
I think
important qualification.
Yeah, it'd be nice to watch a couple of young players come through and see how they are in the more physicality side of the MLS rather than. So
that's a good point, actually. You come on to my next question, really, because we've obviously both qualified now and we're in that envious position. Like, will Orlando shuffle the pack? Potentially. We had exactly the same 11 in the first 2 games. Jim Curtin's only made 1 change from your game 1 to 2. Sergio Santos came in for Ilsinho against Miami.
Yes.
Jose Martinez, your new signing who looks a terrier in midfield, he's out of this.
He is, yeah. He is.
Do you think Curtin will shuffle the pack now in game 3?
I hope so. I hope he does. But I hope he puts out a strong enough side to take the 3 points, because the last thing I want him to do is to put out a weak side and we lose, because we don't want to lose. We want to keep winning, to keep the momentum, to keep the positivity within the team.
Of course.
But I do think he's going to make a fair few changes, and I think Kyle Wagner's going to be subbed off for Matt Real. At left back. I'm hoping to see Matty Free start as well.
Right?
In replacement for Andre Blake. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Blake is probably the main reason that we are in the position that we're in at the minute, because that man has I can't even explain how well he has played.
Yeah, he's a fantastic goalie.
He's so underrated in the MLS, and it annoys me because he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant, and the clutch making saves he's made throughout the last 2 games, it's just been insane, and it's the reason that we've only conceded 1 goal and we've got 6 points out of the last 2 games.
I saw that save against Herbert against New York. That was what a save!
I don't even know where he's pulled it from, but you know. Like I say, it's going to be nice to see him shuffle the pack. It's going to be nice to see.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't want Santos to start as well, because I know Santos has just come back off an injury. I wasn't expecting him to start last game against Inter Miami, but he did.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that, and he came off. I think it was either at half-time or just after half-time, if I remember correctly. Because he was struggling. You know, he's not fit. He's not 90-minute fit at the minute.
Yeah.
But he's that speed up top. Since we got rid of Fafa Pilko, he's that speed up front, and we need that up front, because you got Shabilko. Shabilko's the poacher. He's the target man. He's the one who sits there. You know, he pivots, he turns. He's that man, basically.
Yeah. And
we need Sergio Santos alongside him to give that, you know, a little bit of speed. You know, that just they bounce off each other, in my opinion. And I think starting Ilsinho in the first game was stupid, because Ilsinho was the impact sub, in my opinion. You know, if I was going to bring anyone up, we could be 3-0 down with, I don't know, half an hour to go.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to bring a player on, it's going to be Ilsinho. That guy's going to come on because that guy is an impact sub. He can do things on that pitch, coming off the bench on that pitch, and he can just change the entire game. And what's good about it is teams don't know how to approach it. They don't know how to assess how he's going to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so speaking of substitutes, you say Ilsinho's your impact man there. Kind of ours has been in recent years Chris Mueller, but obviously he's been starting games now and taking his opportunity, which is great to see.
And he has as well. Yes, he has.
Yeah, from the outside looking in, kind of, what have you made of Mueller's performances so far? He's the danger man, surely, for you guys.
He's to be feared, of course. He's to be feared. I think no biased opinion involved here, but I think we're capable of keeping him a bit quiet. Mm-hmm. I think we're all right at doing that. But he's a very unpredictable player as well, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think we need to, as a defensive unit, I think we need to understand and approach defending this player. You know, so I think we need to take a careful precaution towards him, because, like I say, he is a force to be reckoned with, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. He's a young guy as well. I'm speaking of a young guy on your team. He had a standout 2019. Needs no.
I know what we're talking about.
Brendan Aronson. What a player!
Me.
Yeah, I mean, he's been amazing for you guys. Who's the next Aronson? Like I said, Jim Curtin might shuffle the pack in this third game. Who's a younger guy that our fans might not know?
At the minute, I see. Aronson's 19. I think, in my opinion, he needs to be a bit more physical. I think he gets pushed off the ball a little bit too easy. But other than that, he's such a dynamic, fantastic player. Young lad came on off the bench. He played about, 13, 14 minutes he played. If I'm saying his name correctly, it's Jack de Vries.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce his name. It's a Dutch name anyway. But he came on off the bench, and he looks decent. But obviously, with 13, 40 minutes, you can't really tell if he's gonna, what impact he's gonna have. The guy's only 18, 19 himself. But he came through our youth academy as well, and it's nice to see a homegrown talent, be up there and coming off the bench and making his first professional debut. I think it was brilliant. But who really stands out for me is Anthony Fontana. He's basically the backup for Aronson. He's a central attacking midfielder. Yeah. He's just, I don't know. There's just something about him, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but I like him. And I think he's very good physically. I think he's very good. He's got a very good mentality game. I think creativity is brilliant. So it'd be nice to see him start as well. Yeah, it'd be really nice to see him start.
Awesome. So as you've seen in the tournament, like myself, obviously there's 5 substitutes permitted in the tournament. How do you think the 5 subs, and we've had it in England in the Premier League and the Championship, but how do you think the 5 subs has changed the game in this tournament? I mean, it helps some sides and hinders others, right?
Yeah, I think you look, the majority, it helps more sides, because you look at the humidity and the temperature and the weather in Orlando, and it is hard. I mean, I think when we played Inter Miami, I think 4 or 5 players went down with cramp. I think Aronson came off because his cramp was that bad. I'm sure it was Aronson, but it came off because his cramp was that bad. So it's nice to have, that extended substitution, option to be able to rotate players, because it's you might be a professional footballer, but at the end of the day, you're a human being, and if the humidity and the surface and stuff, the substitutions being 5 there, you've got the option then to rotate, and I think that's what we need. I mean, that's good. I think it's good all around, personally.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we know from holidaying over there, every year, just the Florida humidity is absolutely brutal. And
Yeah,
a few weeks
yeah,
ago, we interviewed English guy who used to play for Orlando City, Luke Bowden, bit of a club legend. He said that when he first went over to Florida from Sheffield Wednesday, like he thought he was fit, and he said to us that like you need to be 10 times fitter than what you think you are. You know, just you've seen the players' shirts ringing 20 minutes in, and it just
oh
looks
yeah,
absolutely
like you say, and these hydration breaks in between each half as well. You know,
yeah.
it just shows. It just shows.
Yeah. Now, Tony, reflecting on your first two games so far, tell us. Obviously, we know Union's danger men are, but which player has impressed you the most so far from the two games?
Putting Aronson aside, it's got to be Blake.
Blake,
you know, he's been a brick wall in my opinion. He's just been solid. He's been making saves that he has no right to make.
Yeah,
he shouldn't be making these saves, and he's doing it, and it's it's given us the wins. He's the main reason that, well, like I said before, he's the main reason we are in the position that we're in now.
Yeah,
absolutely. He's been outstanding.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that. Luckily for Orlando, we've kind of signed, an Andre Blake caliber goalie of our own in Pedro Gallese, Peru's number one. He had a standout game last game and kept us in it when it was a game that was end to end against New York.
Yes, he did. He played well. He played very well. Yeah, he did play well.
We'll see who comes out on top. Now, moving on, it's obviously hard to predict anything mid-group stage. Obviously, there's one game to go between both of us who'll crown the winner. But as it stands, the Group A winner is going to face one of the best third-place teams from Group C, D, or E. And then the Group A runner-up will face the runner-up of Group C. So right now, I know they played tonight, but right now the Group C side is DC. That's who you'd be facing right now. Obviously, it's likely to change. I think I know what you're going to say because the Union have had a good start. But would you take that fixture against DC? Do you have anything to fear, or?
No, I'd take it. To be honest with you, and obviously, like this is going to sound like a biased opinion, but I'd take anyone at this moment. I really would. I think we're capable of beating absolutely anyone at the moment.
Yeah.
It might sound like a biased opinion, but
no, not at all.
It is what it is, and I think that we've I can't remember who it was. DeMarcus Beasley actually said that we are probably one of the best MLS teams.
Yeah. I mean, currently, from an Orlando perspective, looking at the Union, I mean, you had such a standout year last year, and you're one of those teams that kind of use a bit of an also-ran / playoff team for years, but the last year, I mean, Curtin's been there throughout, but you've really stepped it up, and I think you've got one of the best squad depths, certainly in the East as well.
The squad depth is brilliant. I mean, I was talking to a friend of mine who lives in Philadelphia, and we were talking about the squad depth, and we were talking about the ability of different players to play in different positions. And you look at like Aronson, he can play central attacking mid, he can play left wing, he can play striker, he can play right wing.
Yeah.
You look at Ilsinho can do exactly the same thing. Fontana can do exactly the same thing. You got Kyle Wagner and Ray Gaddis. They can both play wing back. If we want to play three at the back, we can use Wagner and Gaddis. We can use Matt Rael. We can use absolutely anyone as wing backs. So we've got such a nice rotation within the team, within the starting 11, the rotation. We can play a 4-3-2-1 one day. We can play a flat 4-4-2 the next day.
Yeah, you make a very good point. And when you have that kind of squad depth, it keeps everyone on their toes, doesn't it? So
exactly, yeah. It's very unpredictable. The other team is going to be like, this is an unpredictable thing. We need to change what we need to change, and then 9 times out of 10 it works for us.
Absolutely. So that's kind of the game Monday previewed. Looking forward to it. It's going to be on at 1 a.m. UK time, 8 p.m. in the States. We'll find out who the Group A winner is, but I think we're in for a really entertaining game. We've both played really well so far.
I think it'd be a nice game. It'd be a nice game to watch. Like I say, for me and for you, obviously,
put our feet up, right, and relax.
They're gonna, basically, we've got nothing to shout for, haven't we? We've both qualified,
Yeah.
But I think it'd be nice for both of us to watch, your young players developing and coming through the ranks, and then obviously Philadelphia's the players, developing, coming through the ranks.
For sure.
So it'll be a nice little game to watch. Hopefully, fingers crossed that he does put out a young side that we can watch.
Absolutely. So that's the game Monday covered. Now, Tony, I'm interested to hear your story. I've obviously been following you for a few years now on Twitter. Love what you do. You do a great job spreading the word of MLS in the UK. But when did you first start watching the league, and why Philadelphia? Why are those guys your team?
So basically, it started in 2004. I started watching the NFL. And I became a Philadelphia fan. And the reason I became a Philadelphia fan was because my favourite band are called the Eagles.
Of course.
So I started, what it was my mum was supposed to buy me FIFA, the game FIFA.
Yeah.
And she didn't, she bought me Madden instead. Because I mean, I was only, how old was I? 2004, I was probably about 9 or 10 years old. So I didn't want to upset my mum by telling me she bought me the wrong present. So I was like, I'll take it, whatever. And I'm playing on it. And I'm like, and she's like, do you like the game? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's exactly what I wanted, you fucking. So I'm scrolling through and I'm like, what team do I want to be? And I picked the Eagles because obviously it's my favourite band.
Yeah.
And then in 2016, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna follow Philadelphia sport, and I started following the ice hockey. I started following the Flyers. I followed the Phillies, and then I started following the Sixers. And I was like, do you know what I do? Because I can't remember what MLS game I watched. I watched an MLS game, and I was like, it's brilliant. It's brilliant to watch this. I followed the Union.
Yeah.
But the Union were a relatively new team then. They were only we got founded in 2010.
That's right.
So we were a very, relatively new team. And I was like, I'll follow it. And that was how it started, basically. Just from following the Eagles, the NFL team.
Yeah. Good stuff, because I've seen you have accounts, don't you, on Twitter for the other Philly sports team, like you say, the Flyers, the Eagles as well. So it's a special place in your heart, right?
I love them. I just can't. There's just the city, the teams. I just love them. There's no describing it. There's just no describing how.
Yeah. Have you managed to get over to Philadelphia yourself? You got
no. Well, it was supposed to be in September this year.
Oh yeah.
But because of all the current situation with coronavirus,
of course,
it got postponed. So it's more than likely going to be next year now, which is a shame. But
that is a shame. I mean, you must get this all the time, but honestly, like, your stadium is absolutely amazing. It's so picturesque. Like, it's got to be one of the most stunning in MLS for sure.
It is. It's in a very awkward location compared to Philly. It's in a very awkward location, but my God, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
That suspension bridge on TV late in the UK, and you think, wow, what a venue.
Oh, it's great. I love it. I love it. Like I say, I was supposed to be there in September because we got tickets for the Red Bull game because we were playing Red Bull in September.
Yeah.
I think it's the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the 24th of September. We're playing New York Red Bulls, and to us, that's a rivalry game.
Yeah.
And a couple of my friends who live in Philadelphia, the part of the part of the Keystone Ultras and the Sons of Ben, which is like our like our Green Street kind of, like our supporters group.
Yeah.
So they got me tickets for that basically, and then I was absolutely buzzing. I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. The first ever Philadelphia Union game over in the States, and it's against a rivalry team, and then.
I'm gutted for you, mate. Yeah, that would have been.
It's been hard, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Hopefully, you'll get over there. After this all
goes
down. I mean, speaking of your stadium, I think they've changed the name of it again, haven't they? Right? Is it Subaru Park now?
It's the Subaru Park. Yeah, it was the Talon Energy Stadium.
Yeah,
but then we signed a contract with Subaru.
Yeah,
and now we are Subaru Stadium.
From the outside looking in, I love. I've got to admit this, even being an Orlando fan, I love the scooter goal celebration, the Duke. I do love that. That is it's amazing.
It's very well known.
Yeah.
It's very well known. Some basketball team posted it the other day. The same. I can't remember who it was. But they posted the Dupe song.
Yeah.
Because obviously, and then obviously the Union commented on it saying, "Yo, this is our song. Like, what are you doing?"
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It is brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, no, we hope you get over there as soon as possible, mate. So that's almost
hopefully.
our time up today. So I want to thank Tony for joining us. We appreciate you coming on, mate. And like I said, I would wish you luck for the game on Monday, but we will.
No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I'd understand if you don't. It'd be nice to watch it though, because in my opinion, I think it's going to be a nice game to watch. And hopefully both teams put out young players that we can sit there and evaluate, basically.
Yeah, certainly looking forward. We've had some mega exciting games the last couple of days. A couple of wars. So who knows? It could be another crazy game. But keep up the good work, mate. You're doing in the UK.
Yeah, and you too, mate. You're doing fantastic. Fantastic.
Appreciate that. And I know you're a big Wigan Athletic fan as well. So we hope you guys can stay in the Championship too. Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. Nice one. All right, then. Well, thanks, Tony, for joining us. And until next time, guys. Anytime. Thank you very much, guys. You're welcome. Yeah. For joining us. See you later, mate. See ya. Bye.